Hello, welcome back. I'm Greg Leach, and this is Art of Cycling, and this is the Tour de France. Yay! I always look forward to the Tour. Multiple reasons. One is I just love watching the Tour. But I've been painting the Tour now since 2012. It all started when I was sitting watching the Tour and going, I can't sit here in the middle of the day watching TV. This is, unproductive. And I'm not one to spend a lot of time doing nothing. And as much as I love watching the Tour, I felt a little bit like doing nothing. So my wife, Bridget Gethens, wonderful actress. Her most recent project was oh shoot, come on, brain. Sprung on Freevee, but Amazon. And of course, it's still up and streaming. I recommend checking it out. Very funny. The show's set against the backdrop of COVID. So yes, it's funny, even though it is set against COVID. But so she suggested I paint the race and see what could happen, see if I could sell some. At that point, just using Facebook to sell the work. And things have just grown since then. And then back in 2017, NBC reached out to me, the producer. Day one of the tour, I posted a picture on Twitter. Again, her idea to start a Twitter account. Over there, I'm Art of Cycling. Of course, now I'm also on several other places as well. So, encourage you, so check it all out. So I'm over on Blue Sky with the same handle. Instagram, it's Greg Artist. And of course, theartofcycling.blogspot.com, which is where you'll find all these paintings, and I write about the work and what's going on in each of the paintings. So there's not only just this one painting each stage, but I do paint. Yesterday it was 6 paintings. Depending on what happens and how the stage plays out, it can be more, rarely less. So this is the sprint for the first King of the Mountains point. And these guys are really laying all in, so you don't actually see their heads, which looks a little funny. A little bit cleaner sprint than yesterday's, which I painted right before the guy who took the King of the Mountains points on both the stage and claimed the jersey when he did the bike throw to win the sprint. Kind of overcompensated, and over he went on the cobbles, taking out his companion, who was a little less than amused. stayed up and kept riding because they sort of kind of had to. But so yeah, this sprint went a little cleaner than that. Of course, it was also that was on cobblestones, and this is a nice smooth paved road. And it's always a huge crowd on the top of every climb. Sometimes it's a chance to see people, particularly on the big alpine climbs. You get to see your heroes both suffering and moving a lot slower. When they go by in a sprint or a flat stage, it's like zoom. Oh, that was it. That was the whole tour. There they went. So this is that one chance to actually see the people. So people really come. And you know, during the course of the race, unless you got your cell phone and are streaming the race, it's a little hard to know what's going on. So here, when they're all coming by, you at least know who took the King of the Mountains point. In this case, it was Liechtenstein. The guy who crashed yesterday, Benjamin Thomas, who was still in the race and back, decided that, you know, there wasn't, this is just one point and there's a lot more kilometers before the next King of the Mountain. So I think he's just sitting tight, kind of banking on the this breakaway. There are 4, but these 2 are really vying for it. I think he's planning on doing what he did yesterday. Well, he got the first one, but then he had to, the peloton caught him, and then he jumped again, which is pretty darn rare, to get the second climb, the one he crashed in. But so I think he's waiting till there are 3 climbs that come pretty close together towards the end of the stage. And today is the longest stage of the tour. They're racing 209 kilometers plus like a 10 or 12 kilometer neutral start. So end of the day, they're going to be about 220 kilometers. This is a long day, even for the Pro Peloton. So again, as per usual, working through the warm to cool, light to dark crescendo that I always use. So now, of course, that would mean I would move to the reds next. And let me see how to pronounce his name. Liechtenstein is the just crowned Norwegian champion. So, as such, he has the Norwegian flag on his back, and his team is a Norwegian team, so they're doing a particularly good job of honoring the jersey. It is interesting, some teams really let the country's flag shine, and others not so much. UAE is usually pretty guilty of not being very good about that, but this year with the Belgian champion, they did a great job. Where it's really a tricolor. So that's the warm colors thus far, as I see them. So I'll move to the blue next. And of course, sorry, got so wrapped up in what I was painting. So of course the Norwegian flag is the red with the white cross with the blue cross inside of it. Now I want a little brighter blue for the logo. It's a Leclerc, which I believe is a grocery store chain. It sponsors the King of the Mountain, has for, I'm going to say, decades. So their logos are all over the tops of the climbs. And I actually think what happened is the, here, let's put the, and I've learned to use, although I didn't right away, use the street markings as an excellent directional element. So the lines, it really gives you that curve through. Sorry for that long pause. I was thinking of something else. That long pause through the long curve through the piece, and just helps you see and adds to the directional element, and in essence the speed. See, one thing I forgot, the blue dot. So the jersey used to always be just red and white, I mean red dots, but they snuck in their orange and blue of the logos. What I was stopping to think about, normally I would have done this sooner, was the title and signing the piece. I like to get that done before the watercolors make the pen a little less happy. Call this over a small climb. It's only a category 4, it's only 1 point, so Lackfish's going to get the point, and Van Moore will be SOL. And of course today's the 7th. Keep trying to write 75 for the year. I don't think I'll be around for 75. I could be, but there's a little bit of me that hopes not. I'll be old at that point. And there's so many branding opportunities in the tour, including the bib numbers. I haven't figured out who the brander is, but their color is purple. So usually there's yellow on the bottom of the bib number because it's LCL, who has sponsored the yellow jersey, I think, since its inception. So now we're going to lay in the sky, and it has been a very, well, stage started as a rainy day. And the sky is, or at least the rain has broken off. There's been moments of sunshine. I've seen shadows on the roadway, but sort of overcast now, and no shadows to be seen, which is kind of a shame. Always a nice element. Imagine shadows coming out in the fans as well. And just like yesterday, there goes Pippin again. Ironically, it's the first time he's barked all day. But it's also Sunday morning, and we live next door to a church. So I'm guessing people are arriving for church. So now I'm just going to go ahead and line this roadway. And it got a little dark, so I'm just sort of picking the color back up, wiping the excess on the napkin. Now more color. And then here, I'll have, oops, as the painting runs away from me, and the brush strokes follow that curve of the road as well. So in case there's any, in case you can see the brush strokes, it helps convey direction and speed as well. Now, oftentimes, this is like the last thing I do, but oftentimes, not all the time. And then they're right on the edge of a field here. So I think really all that's left to do now is put in the black, and to tell you that you can see all of this work and read about the tour as it's played out at my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. And I'll put that link in the description, as well as when you're there, you'll find the links over to my website, gregleach.com, where, should you desire, you can purchase the work. There'll be a direct link at the blog to take you to that particular painting. So far, the first painting that I've done sold, but as of the painting of this, it's just that one. I'm sure that will change, particularly if you go buy one. So this is my 8th painting thus far. I usually hit around 150 or so. Last 2 years has been exactly 144. That wasn't planned, that was just the way it worked out, which I was rather surprised about. So there's this painting, Over a Small Climb. Oops, I see one little thing I didn't do. So saying the colors of the grocery store Leclerc. You see, it just started raining here. Stopped raining at the tour and started raining here in Richmond, Virginia, if you were wondering. Oh, let's do this too. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. Love to hear what you think of the work, of the tour, of watercolors. I hope you try them as well. Thanks for watching, folks.